Okay, so we're gonna make our chick brooder. This is the one we used last year. Super minimalistic. Mr. Declan broke one of the pieces last year, so we gotta fix it. And while we're at it, we're gonna make it a little bit bigger. We're getting 100 meat birds in about 10 days. So we're gonna make it a 4x8 brooder. What we're gonna do is take a couple pieces of plywood, add on to this. Instead of making it a 4x4, we're gonna make it a 4x8, and then add some casters and some poultry netting on the top so the cats don't get in it. For obvious reasons, that would not be good. So we're gonna make a base out of it and get it elevated a little bit to get some space between the cats, and then if we get any mice or rats or anything, that'll just give us a little ability to move it around. So we're gonna get started. These are 23 7/8 high. If you were just making the 4x4, you could do it out of one sheet, but what we're gonna do is rip this down. It's a 4x8 sheet of plywood. So we're gonna rip it down 23 7/8, two pieces out of this, and then we're gonna build the base so we can set this on top of it. Okay, so we're gonna go 2 and 2.5. Okay. 0 to a foot. Okay, so this is your 1/2 inch gap that you're gonna cut out. You're gonna go up a foot to here, and then you'll use a 1/2 inch drill bit, cut that out, and then use a chisel to finish these corners out up here. Now once you get that done, this piece here, your 2-inch overlap, will allow you to get this cross member piece here, in which case it'll be 4x8 for us, but that would be your 4x4 if you were going to just make the traditional one. Pretty much that's the extent of it. It's super easy. We're just gonna go a little bit more to accommodate for, like I said, the cats, and to give it a little bit more mobility so we can move it around in the garage. Okay, so hold on to that. Ready? Here we go.
This is cool.
All right.
Wow. That's huge.
Yep. Okay.
You gotta be kidding me.
So tip that. Yep. Hang on, what's going on here? Okay. Okay, so that's one piece. All right.
That's huge. Oh yeah. Then you're gonna take that piece, hook that on.
Yeah. And you'll see what I'm gonna do with the other ones too. Okay. So there's that.
That's huge.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're gonna use this one.
This is huge.
I'm gonna have you hold this while I put that on, okay? Ready? Up we go. Okay, slide it in there. Good. Watch your hands. Okay. Kick your bottom out. Yep. Okay. Hang on. Let's get one at a time. That one's hung up. Okay. There we go. What's going on there, bud? Okay, that's it. So what do you think, Declan? You like it? So, now what do we got to do? What do you think we're doing next? Close. Okay, so there's our 4x8. So 4 feet wide, 8 feet long. Now we're going to make a base that this sits on. So we're going to frame out just a 2x4 frame to fit this on. 4 feet by 8 feet. Use this other sheet of plywood here as our bottom. What's 48 minus 3? Use your hands if you need to. Bingo! All right. So that's how wide this needs to be, right? Because each one of these, 1.5 inches. You have 2 of them to make up your square minus 3. So you need 45. Where's 45? 45. Right there. Okay. So you go up, up. Okay. There's one. So we're going to go 2 feet on center. Yeah, I think I need to go more. That 24-inch on center ain't gonna cut it.
Oh, so right now you're doing the bottom.
Yep. Second. Okay, so how I set this up is I go, so if we're doing 16-inch on centers, we need to go 15 1/4 is our first one. So Declan, my lovely assistant, is gonna hold that right on that mark at 15 1/4. And then from there, you can go 16, 32, 48, 64. And that puts you right at 16 on center for the rest of your studs. Right? Right. Okay. Can you give me some more? And then we'll get, yep. Perfect. Okay. Send it.
Send it.
Yep. Let's get that scooched in there.
Are
Okay.
you gonna glue this?
Screw it.
Are you gonna glue the screw this to the here?
We'll flip this whole thing over and then we'll screw it down. I'm just using this as a workbench right now, buddy. Yeah. Hmm? This is how you build a wall. Same concept. Yeah. Then you would stand it up. So that basic frame's together. Now we just got to figure out how high we need to make it. Can you touch the floor? Okay, so you can touch the floor, and we know this is 23 7/8, but I don't want to go too high, because then they can't help out. I guess it really depends too. I got a bunch of scrap pressure treated 4x4s. So if I've got 4 feet total, I think that would work out fine. Decided to go with a foot, you know, just to get it elevated off the ground a little bit. With our casters, can you go grab one of those, Declan? Grab one of the wheels. Yep. So with these on the bottom, you know, we'll be another couple inches, probably 3-4 inches. So we'll probably be almost 15 inches off the ground, give or take a little bit. So that's how that's going to work. We're going to go ahead and get these 4x4s fastened and then probably screw these wheels into place. I've got to get a couple of ledger screws. We'll screw them in and then we'll report back. Did you get eggs? You better get eggs after this.
Is this our last wheel?
No. One more wheel. Right in the knot. We're gonna take a quick break for dinner and grab the eggs. Then we'll get this down off the ground, or excuse me, off the sawhorses, put on the ground, and get this plywood attached to it. No eggs? They ate them all? Were they all broke? All right, so we're back after dinner. Gonna get this area picked up a little bit. Take that platform off the sawhorses, and then I'm gonna get that screwed down. I'm gonna try to, see how this is gonna play out. I have a couple ideas in my mind on how I want this to go. And the main thing is it's gotta be practical, right? Like, we can't take up a whole area of the garage all year round. So this needs to come apart easily, it needs to store easily, but it needs to be strong enough, to handle, I think, what are we doing this year? Doing 175 meat birds, 40 egg layers. So a little over 200 birds. So it's gotta be robust enough to handle that. If we were to do this a little bit more, we get into 4 months and 5 months, or the number of birds increases, then yeah, I'd want something more permanent, something more exterior rated, like the Salatin mini brooder. I'd probably move towards that. But I think this is good enough for right now. And we're gonna go ahead and see how it works out with this first batch. Boy, that's heavy. Hi, buddy.
Hi, Kobe, Kobe. Hello, buddy. Oh, hello, mister. Hi, mister. Hi, mister.
You did?
Is this a dancing floor?
No, not a dancing floor.
I mean, you can move it.
Got it? Oh, knocked off my sawdust collector on my saw. Where you been all night?
I just took the shower.
Okay. What do you think?
I like it. Are these for the chickies?
Yeah. Baby chicks.
How are we going to today?
No, 10 days.
What?
Okay, so that's it for tonight. Then we're gonna put the top on here.
Bye. Bye.
It's day 2. We're inside the garage today. Doors shut because it is nasty out. Mid-April here. And we got a little bit of a snow squall. See if I can get it to focus. There we go. It's a nasty day. So day 2, what we're gonna work on is putting up the wire mesh for the top, and we're gonna picked up some treated 1x4s, and we're gonna make a roof out of that. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna attach it to the top. I think what I'm gonna do is cut out a 2x4 piece here and mount it to the 1x2, the 1/2-inch plywood all the way across the top. That way it'll give me something to screw in for my hinges when I pick the roof up. Okay, so we got our pieces cut. We're gonna go 3/4 pocket holes to secure it. It'd be tough otherwise, you know, so we're just gonna use our Krag pocket hole jig, secure them at the corners, and then I'm gonna use staples to secure the wire mesh to the top. Got it? Don't push.
They're good. She's in.
Okay. All right, so unfortunately we got to cut it here for tonight. I can't find my poultry staples, therefore I can't staple this in. On top of that, I'm short 1x4s by a board and a half, so I'll pick up 2. So I'm gonna run to Lowe's and then pick this back up tomorrow when I get home from work. Hopefully finish the rest of this top tomorrow. All right, we're back from Lowe's.
Yeah.
So I talked to a couple associates over there when I was looking for staples, and I ended up going with these lath screws. We're gonna try these out and see if they have a good hold. It's a 1/2 inch wire mesh, and it's like basically a panhead screw is what it is. I think it's gonna work pretty good. If I need to, I might throw a little washer on it, but my hope is that it gets a good hold. And it's gonna be 10 times easier to put this in versus hand driving poultry staples, which if you've done that, you know it's a nightmare. It's very tedious. They don't go in straight. Heck yeah. Yeah. Careful, don't cut yourself, please. Where the heck are my... It's gonna work out good. Okay. All right, so that worked a lot better than poultry staples, I'll tell you that. Got a good secure hold. Put it right in the corners of each one of the little grids, and that worked great. We got the tops done, the hardware cloths in on both sides. And as I was building this, I was thinking we had that other 4x4 brooder. Coincidentally, it just happened to work out this way, but we decided to go 2 4x4 tops. So let's say you need a smaller brooder, right? This is in theory, if you're going off of Joel Salatin's mini brooder, he's got an 8x8 that's good for 250 chickens. So 64 square feet in that brooder. This is 32 square feet, roughly 4x8. Doing the math, it's 125 meat birds for 3 to 4 weeks. Now, if you just wanted to downsize and go, you know, some egg layers, or I think it would be good up to 62, I think, if you're just to do a 4x4. So 16 square feet, again, half 125. They say never do math on fly, but I think it's roughly 62, 63 meat birds. The other thing with these is if you wanted to upscale this, you easily could. So you could chain these together simply by hooking a 2x or a 1x together to make this one long run or a true 8x8 brooder. So we're gonna put some hinges on this next, but I just thought that was a cool piece of information as I was putting this stuff together. This kind of thing I was thinking about. In order to put reinforcements right here and give me something to screw in for the hinges, I need to rip down a 2x4 that's gonna be 2 inches wide. So hopefully this works. Got 2 different clamps on either end. I think it should work all right, but just a quick little hack in case you don't have a circular saw with a rip jig or a table saw like I do. We'll figure it out, but we're gonna go ahead and give it a go. So here's what that looks like now. That's gonna give me something to get a hinge on. So I'm gonna put the hinge, I got 2 per section. So that's gonna give me some support there, and actually that's stiffened that up nice. Again, totally not necessary to do that, but I think that's just gonna help. If the kids are gonna get involved, this has to be easy. I don't want them picking up this 4-foot section every day. Just simply tipping it up, I think, is gonna be huge. All right, for these hinges, we know this is a 4-foot piece. Center of this is gonna be 12. So the hinge needs to be at 12, 36. So you know what, I'm gonna use these last screws that I used the other day. I think that's gonna be much better for me with these little dinky screws that come with it. Wow. It's much better. So I'm not going to put a board like I did on the other side. I want this lip. I could put a handle here, but I think that's good enough for now. Let's see how the rest of this works. So I'm going to get the hinges screwed on this other one, see how that goes. So there it is, guys. Finished chick brooder. I've probably got off and on with the kids and running to Lowe's, etc. I probably have a total of 3, maybe 4 hours wrapped up into it over the course of a couple days. But this is the final result. I think it's going to work out really great for us. Again, 125 chicks is what this is rated for. So you could easily do, you know, every 3 weeks. You could do a lot of chicks this season with this. And it's going to be used probably, like I said earlier, 3 to 4 months, maybe. And then we're going to take it down, store it, so it's out of the elements, it's out of the way. So that was the whole main reason for this and doing it this way, is the mobility, portability, and affordability, if you will. Speaking of that, I probably have, you know, pressure treated lumber, and the plywood's not cheap these days. So I'm probably just under $300, including the platform, the caster wheels and all that. So I think it's a worthwhile investment. We're going to use this for a lot of years to come. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to go ahead and sign off, and we'll catch y'all later.